All right.
Here, holy cow.
I love explaining that. Yeah. So 2 times we were so drunk doing the show that the things we said offended me. Yeah, and it's almost impossible.
And that was before you named yourself the real Three Idiots, or you already knew you were Three Idiots?
Oh, no, we already knew. Yeah, no.
I suspected I was an imbecile.
Okay.
And then I graduated to moron, and I finally said idiot seems like more palatable.
All right,
you know,
that's, all right.
because it's open to interpretation.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and you know what the funniest thing is, because we were going to be the Three Idiots podcast, there had to be 10 of those.
Yeah.
You're right, you're surprised, right? Yeah. And then we went to the real Three Idiots, and that kind of separated us because people were just like, oh, those guys are real. Yeah, those guys are real. Okay, so we've got a couple of champions. In fact, sitting with us today is last year's champion and the champion before, and they are related by their brother-in-laws. Okay. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves, and we'll get started from there.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm Don Cullum, and I'm the 2024 Homestyle Chili World Championship for the International Chili Society. So been cooking since 2010 on the circuit because of this guy. He got us all started.
Can't blame it on me, man.
Yeah, I'm actually married to his sister. So he talked us into going to cook with him in 2010 in Arizona, and it's been all uphill or downhill, I guess, depending on how you look at it, since then. So, we all out of this guy. Him and his wife cooks as well, so all 4 of us compete against each other. But he's done well, you know, especially giving me pointers and getting us on the road. And now he's kind of regretting that because now we're using those pointers to beat him sometimes. Well,
Oh, not sometimes.
Not sometimes.
Okay, so why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Kevin Foley from Galveston, Texas, and I've been cooking in the ICS since 2004. So 21 years? Yeah, so I was an overnight success. I won the Homestyle in 2023. I won the Red Championship in 2022 and 2024.
Yeah, so sitting here, you won 2 years ago.
I won the Homestyle 2 years ago.
And Don, you won last year.
Correct.
Wow, and you guys have, and we've been talking about this on every part of this.
Yeah, I want to know what
you guys are wearing. The beautiful yellow blazer with flames, chili peppers, rhinestones, the whole deal. Yeah. And everybody walking around here, when you guys are walking around, they know exactly what that is.
Yes, yeah. We got the amazing magic jacket. Yeah, it's fantastic. And I will tell you, I'll do a little plug here for Bush's Beans. They came on as the International Chili Society primary sponsor for the Homestyle category back in 2021.
Yeah.
And they write the big check or help fund the big check and sponsor that category. It has to have beans in it. Homestyle chili has to have beans in it. Actually, it has to have Bush's beans in it, and they make a good quality product. But they also give you this custom-made yellow jacket.
When you win. And they're different.
$10,000 in a jacket.
And 10 G's, yeah.
10 G's in a jacket.
Well, I like the little differences, though.
Yeah, little
They're
subtle
the same,
differences.
You can tell it's the same jacket, but they tweak it a little bit.
Absolutely.
Every year they make it
I like
different.
that. That's
every year they get
very
a little
smart.
different.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
And and Kevin, you have 2 of them.
No, I have this one, and then I have another jacket for the red competition. I have a completely different jacket.
Oh, so it's not the yellow one. The yellow one is only for Homestyle.
Only for Homestyle.
Actually, if you look over there on my booth, you see that black jacket hanging up?
Oh, yeah.
That's
Gotcha.
the red. That's the red jacket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't make sense. You just said that the black jacket's for winning the red. Why would it be a red jacket?
Well, because there's another organization that has a red jacket for their champion, and so they didn't want to copy it. So the Verde champion gets a green jacket, the Homestyle champion gets a beautiful yellow jacket, and the red champion gets a black jacket.
Okay, and that makes sense. That makes sense to me. No how, but I like it.
So how different are your recipes? Because you guys are family. You compete together but against each other.
Yeah.
How different are they?
All right, before he lies to you, I'm going to tell you the truth. One year, I was on a Mardi Gras float in Galveston because that's where I live, and they were on the street. And it was his birthday, and it happened to be on during the Mardi Gras week. I rode by on the float, and I gave him a recipe written on a card.
He did.
Telling him how to do it.
He did.
After he had cooked for a little while and tweaked and twanged, but I wrote it down and gave it to him. So I don't know what he's done with that since. He claims he's changed a lot of stuff, but I gave him the secret formula off of Mardi Gras float one year.
And that was a competition year, 2023, for the 2024 championship.
Oh,
Well,
no.
No, I gave it to him years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I
Years
gave
ago.
it to him years ago.
And we have changed it.
Okay,
With this, but
okay.
that was
Yeah.
clearly where we got our start. That was our base recipe
Yeah.
that we started with. We've tweaked it. We're both out of Texas. We make a very similar chili. It's all different. I don't know what's in his. He don't know exactly what's in mine. But the style of chili is very, very similar. It is clearly a Texas red
Okay.
that we both cook.
And the real secret is cooking at different places and all different altitudes and different outside, inside, and so the technique that you need to do it. I had been doing it at that point. I'd started in 1984. So by the time that they rolled around and started cooking with me, I had been cooking a long time and getting my butt kicked, but I had figured out how to do it. I'd figured out the formula. I'd figured out the technique. I'd figured out how to pack and haul. I'd figured out all that stuff. And so they came in and got 25 years of experience in one trip.
Nice.
So, yeah, and so it was handy. And I never thought that they would stay and cook. I thought they would give up and go away, but they didn't.
But we know what's in it because you have to give your recipe to collect the prize, right?
Yes.
Correct.
That's correct.
And
Yeah.
that's shared
But no,
for
it's-
anybody. That's shared, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on the website, and actually it's not the exact recipe I want out, but the formula, the quantity of 2 pounds of meat and the
Yeah,
quantity
okay.
of every tablespoon and teaspoon are exactly the way it needs for 2 pounds of meat. Now you can vary for spices that you want to put in
Yeah.
it and the powders you want to put in it, but follow the tablespoons and teaspoons to the note for 2 pounds of meat.
So both of our recipes, they're both on the International Chili Society website, and also the homestyle, not his red, but his homestyle recipe, and mine are both on Bush's Beans website. And it is our foundation, it's our base recipe, but we cook all over the country. And chili is very regional. So if we're cooking in South Carolina, I can't use that same. I've got to tweak that recipe. It's got to
Yep.
have some. It's got to have some more sugar in it. It's got to be sweet in
Sweeter,
South
yeah,
Carolina.
that's the second
Yeah,
time
that's
we've
the
heard
second
that.
time we
Yeah.
heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's true, man.
Yeah,
I ate a hush puppy in South Carolina, and I thought it was a donut hole. I swear I did. It was so sweetest thing I ever ate.
Yeah.
So we tweak it depending on where we're cooking. And he also mentioned, we live at sea level. We cook Flagstaff in August every year, and we're cooking at 7,200
Oh, sure,
feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that altitude changes everything.
Come
And how you
on,
cook it.
wait.
Oh, absolutely.
Come on. Wait,
Oh,
so
it's-
if you were cooking on a submarine or if you were cooking at Flagstaff, you're doing different things?
Absolutely.
You have to.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. You won't get
So-
it done. You won't get your meat done.
It's unbelievable how hard it is to cook at 7,000 feet.
So can you give an example like what you have to tweak at 7,200 feet altitude
you have
versus
to,
say
you have to
sea
cook
level?
it harder. You have to cook it longer because it doesn't boil as quick and fast.
Right.
And you have to have more liquid to it because the liquid, as soon as you lift the lid, it evaporates.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so that changes everything when you're adding liquid to it because if you just keep adding water to it, it's going to taste like water.
Right.
So and you have to add more stuff to kind of. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a real trick.
Got to tweak it.
and
Okay.
then- And then you think,
We're
you've got,
at 780 feet here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just so
That
you
is
know,
awesome.
we
Go here.
look.
not
yeah,
that we,
yeah.
not that we
It's
check.
flat,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not that we check.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that we look.
It doesn't get
Not that you're-
flatter than this.
Yeah.
Not that you know all the barometer
I'm
pressure, air
just
pressure
saying-
right before you
No.
get
Well,
here. Right?
And
So-
I'll give you another example. We used to cook Albuquerque every year in August. The Southwest Regional New Mexico State Championship was in early August every year. Same exact site. We were cooking the Route 66 Casino Hotel on Saturday. Southwest Regional, everything cooked beautiful. Normally, and I'm gonna give another secret away, but not really because it's in our recipe.
Yeah.
I normally in my competition pot, if everything cooks perfect, I've got 32 ounces of liquid, different liquids, different broths, and everything Saturday cooked beautiful. And overnight, a front came through and flipped the humidity, and nobody could get their meat done on Sunday. So I'm in the exact same spot that I cooked the day before, and so I've got the exact same amount of liquid in. Then I started. So when you're not getting your meat cooked, right? So you're having to add more liquid. You're rolling it. You're boiling it, trying to get that meat tender. Added an additional, on top of the 32 ounces, added another 56 ounces of liquid to get our meat done. And of course, now you're throwing your spice balance off, right? So those are all the different tweaks and different things you have to account for. We all carry tweaker bags. We carry spice bags, so you can make adjustments if you have to. So
I never
Yeah,
heard of that.
but
Tweaker.
you're truly adjusting on the fly. I mean, because when the next day came around and everything has changed, you're doing something different, and then you're like all looking at each other, and you're going, "Okay, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here?" And then you realize, wait, don't put anything else in there. Just keep doing this. Just keep. until you're changing on the fly, and then if you go back 3 or 4 years in a row, then you're like, okay, what's the weather going to be like? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So that is absolutely amazing because at no point did you think of any of this, right, Mark? no, because this is your first time.
Tweaker bag. That's a new one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're cooking in perfect conditions. Let's admit.
Yeah, we're indoors.
We're
you are.
indoors, and
Yeah.
we have no
Yes.
issues. So no, that didn't cross my mind. But what I am blown away about is how precise, in particular, everybody is about competition cooking. And this is my first competition. I cook at home, right? You cook at home. We all cook at home. And all the things I'm doing, I think, are right for competition are kind of wrong. Does that make sense?
Well, here's the deal. You got to remember, everybody that's in there judging only is going to take one spoonful or two spoonfuls.
Right.
So you have to get it. That's why it's so precise, because it's not like they're sitting in there eating a bowl of it, giving you a score. They're eating one bite and moving to the next one, and you're like, please give me a good score. Please give me a good pick. Or
do you think that's fair?
Yeah.
Do you think it would be better if somebody sat down and ate a whole bowl of
No,
chili?
they couldn't do it. You wouldn't be able to judge 100 people like that if you had to eat the whole bowl.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, but do you think it would be? So obviously, it would be different.
It'd be less of a crapshoot than it is.
Yeah.
But they can go back and taste that cup again.
Yeah.
But you've got 20. Just say you have 20 tables on a prelim table that you're judging.
Yeah.
Your first goal is I'm going to go through and taste them all, right? And you may eliminate half of them that you just didn't. Half of them you just didn't care for or like. Then you're going to focus on those other 10. So you can go back and try those, get a clean spoon palate cleanser every time. But that idea is they're only going to get that first bite one time, and if it's not enough to get you on their list, I'm coming back to, then you're done.
Your host.
Yeah.
Have you guys judged?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually judged the competition yesterday for the the last chance. Yeah, I judged all 3 categories. Yeah.
Does that help you? Does that give you
Actually,
an advantage
I
to
haven't
help
done
you?
it in a long time, and it did help. It did help me. It did help me yesterday. We actually went home. Everybody that I'm sharing a house with is all cooking, and we all judged, and we all sat down last night and talked about judging and what we saw and what we didn't see and what we were doing and were we wrong or right. It was pretty interesting conversation last night.
Is there a lot of difference when you're talking about like what people like and what people don't like, or do you know what a judge is looking for? That's your really only goal.
Well, the only thing is they certify and train these judges here, so they give them the same criteria they give us. That this is what you have to do to cook. This is what we're going to do for you. Tell the judges. So you know what they're being told. You know what they're looking for. Whether or not you know what their palate is or how they're going to react to it. Yeah.
It's all
totally
a personal preference. But they'll give them guidelines on this is what a good chili should look like, should taste like, should smell like. But it's a personal preference at that point. And that's, again, very different in different parts of the country.
So nobody here, I've come to this conclusion. I mean, I'm assuming this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but nobody here is doing this for the money.
No, it's for that yellow jacket. It's for that beautiful
money's nice.
goddamn yellow jacket.
Yeah, that jacket's awesome.
I know, but we're spending, you could spend a couple $3,000 just to get here.
Absolutely.
And then, and then the 10 grand is just offsetting what you've put into it over. So this is a hobby. It's just it's a hobby in the truest sense, and it's just
passion.
Camaraderie,
it's a
and
passion.
Fun,
everybody here has a lot of the same qualities as to why they're here.
And I have a really good friend that I volunteer with back home in Houston for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And I wore the yellow jacket, of course. Absolutely. And and everybody's going, oh, my God, I cannot believe that yellow jacket. And I said, well, the best part is, it came with a $10,000 check.
That's right.
And his first response was, but you'll spend that money. You'll have that jacket forever.
Yeah.
That's true.
And he's right.
Oh, wow.
He's right. It's
Yeah,
the magic.
and I've worn this thing everywhere. I mean, I'll even admit to wearing it to a funeral and a wedding.
That's all right.
That is insane. Okay,
You guys earned it. Wear it.
He fits right in.
Yeah.
So why chili? Was there any other food you were going to make in competition? Was there anything else, or was chili the only thing, and that was your one thing?
What happened to me was I had a 1955 Ford F100 pickup truck that was red, and I had some friends that were cooking chili, and they wanted to use my truck as the showmanship, which is another category where everybody does show, where they decorate their booths and all. So I went for a couple of years and just took my truck, and we made a booth and made a theme around that, and then they were getting just wore out cooking chili, and I finally said, man, you guys, blah, 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 and they were like, well, if you think you could do better, then you cook a pot of chili. So I did. and I won.
And you were better.
I was better, but I was a good cook before that. I cooked for a long time, and I cook a lot of different stuff. But yeah, the chili. Once I got hooked on that, and once you win one time, you're hooked.
Oh,
you
for
know?
sure. And what do you cook besides chili? Do you have other specialties?
Trust me, I'm a good cook.
Okay, gotcha. Everything. All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Ted, I know a lot of people
Yeah.
lie.
I
I know a
cook
lot
it.
of people lie, but I can tell you right now, Kevin is not lying.
Yeah.
No, I cooked steaks for everybody Wednesday night when we got here, and
There you go.
Well,
They went
not everybody.
well, you went to the steakhouse.
I went to St. Elmo's though.
Yeah.
So.
I couldn't
It was
get
still
in. I
good.
couldn't get in.
You can't feed this guy. You got to weaken him for the next day's competition.
No, I wanted to get in tonight. They're booked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this: since this is his first time he did it, and you guys are champions, what advice could you give him if he decides he wants to do it? Because I feel like we have now created a monster.
Well, I'm going to do it again somewhere because I
Yeah.
became a member, so I can.
Well, there you go.
So where do you live?
In Chicago.
Okay.
So I know there's a couple.
There's a couple up there.
Yeah.
And again, there's more than one organization, but this one, if you want to stick with this one, there's cook-offs all over the country.
The one I'm going to go to is in Griffith, Indiana, because I'm from Indiana originally.
All right.
So that's a big one, and I think it's in May.
And they used to have one at that Goose Island Brewery. They used to have one ICS one there.
Oh,
too.
did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if they still do, but
All right.
yeah.
All right, so how does he get better?
So here's what you
Practice.
can do. Yeah, practice. But you can go out to the ICS website because every winner, I don't care what category, if it's traditional red, Verde, vegetarian, has had to provide a recipe
Correct.
when you won. So
Right.
that's a great starting point. You can get some of those recipes as your base, as your just like he gave me a recipe to start with. And the recipes that we've got out there, again, are our foundation. They're our base recipe that we tweak depending on where we're going.
And the recipe that mine is goes for 2 pounds of meat, and all the proportions are correct. And I know from winning that the champions call you and congratulate you and tell you stuff. And one of the gentlemen that put his out there years ago gave them the exact recipe that he won with. And so it's still out there on the website. I'll tell you off air who the guy was.
Okay.
I won't sell him out here on the air because he's still alive, and I don't know if he listens to you guys. He might find me, and he lives in Texas, so I don't want to sell him out right now.
So another thing, you use those base recipes. Like I said, most of those recipes are going to be a 2-pound meat recipe.
Okay.
And you'll find, especially new cooks, we go to a cook-off, we have new cooks show up, and they show up with a big stock pot, and they're cooking on a big, huge propane burner. They're cooking, 8
Look,
gallons
you only
of chili.
you only got to turn in a 32-ounce cup.
You got to turn a
So,
32-ounce
yeah.
cup, and
Yeah.
so you can do that if you want, but if you use that smaller portion, you
okay.
can control it.
Yep.
You see, if you walked around here today,
Yeah.
you see most of the cooks are cooking on propane camp stoves because you can control that heat, you can control the fire in that smaller pot. Now, most of these cook-offs, we also make what we call People's Choice chili to give away to the public. That's totally different, and you can make a big pot of that because that is not what your competition is. But if the competition, if you're doing that smaller portion, like you're going to see those recipes, you can control all the variables a lot
I meant to
easier
bring
than
it
a
up.
big pot.
Everybody had at least a third less than what I was using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had 3.5 pounds of meat.
Yep.
And there's a couple of people that cook a 3.5, 4 pound recipe just for the competition.
Yeah.
God knows why they
Yeah, you don't
haven't
have
they
to,
seen haven't they seen that we took it down like Donnie said, and we have more control over it in a smaller bag.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't recommend trying to cook 32 ounces, but you got to cook. The 2 pound thing seems to work. The formula works.
Well,
is
I'm
what
going to the
saying.
Bears game tomorrow, so I needed leftovers for our tailgate.
Oh, you're good. Yeah.
So I had a lot of pressure.
I've got
on me.
2 bags in my cooler you can have too.
The Bears. The Bears.
Oh yeah, if you're giving chili away, don't. Yeah. We'll take all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. I asked a couple other people, biggest mistakes you've ever made. So you're in the competition. Have you ever done something so heinous that you couldn't turn it in, or it was absolute? You turned it in anyway. It was garbage. Like the mistake that people make or you made that was just reckless.
Yeah. So I've never not turned in. Right. I have turned in something that probably wasn't worthy of being turned in, but I've never not turned in. So I have, especially with my Verde. The Verde you've got to watch real close, or you can scorch it. And I've done that. Walked off visiting somebody that was cooking down the way from me, and not get back in time and stir my pot until it's scorched.
Stuck.
And then all of a sudden, it's got a nice smoky flavor.
That's it.
That is exactly what the other. That's exactly what the other two people said.
Yeah. If you make it smoky,
Don't-
it's not going to win.
Yeah, I was going to say the judges can't be that dumb, right? They,
Yeah.
they have to
No,
know.
you
They have to go. Well, they
Oh.
made this nice and smoky. Thank you. Next.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Big-
you'll get that
big old
feedback.
X.
You'll get that feedback. It was kind of a smoky flavor. Well, yeah, it was.
Which meant you didn't pay attention to your pot. You burned it.
So smoky is code for not good. All right.
Yeah.
You guys got, obviously from winning. You guys have a lot of fans because everybody's walking by.
They're not really fans.
Are they? They're
They,
haters.
no, they smile. They as soon as you walk away, you hear them going.
Yeah. Have you ever signed any autographs or anybody?
I have.
All right. So
Yeah.
pictures taken, selfies.
I
people-
actually got to sign my autograph when I went to Thousand Oaks, California, and checked into the hotel. They had a big poster on there for the cook-off because it was a big deal. It's like
Yeah.
10,000
Yeah,
people
it's a lot
show
of
up
people.
for it. I mean, it was cool. And so when I went in, the lady said, and I told her what I was there for, and I whipped out the jacket, and she made me sign the poster in the lobby of the hotel.
There you go.
It was pretty cool.
Nice.
It's a blast. I wore the jacket
Yeah.
through the airport coming up for this trip, and everybody just wants to stop and have their picture made with you. I was in line to get a breakfast taco, and the lady at the counter looked at my shirt because you see the bush beans on the front. She goes, "What do you put in your beans?" I said, "Well, I put beans in my chili." And she goes, "Well, that's a fantastic jacket." And the guy in front of me, who hadn't been a part of our conversation at all, says, "Well, you should see the back of his jacket." So I had to turn around. It's the Magic jacket. A gate agent wanted to wear it. She wanted to try it on so she could have a picture made with it. It is an absolute blast. It's a riot.
Do you let
Yeah.
people try on your jacket?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
And I had a buddy of mine who's in a band, been in a band for years, and he came over right after I got it, and I said, "You want to see the jacket?" He's like, "Yeah," and I got it out, and I put it on, and he was like, "Wow, that's really cool." He goes, "I don't think I could pull that look off," and I'm like, "Really?" I took it off and let him put it on. He was dancing around my house playing the air guitar, and I was like, "I thought you couldn't pull that look off, dude." And it happens to every person you put it on. I went to Flagstaff this year. There was a bunch of people from Poland going to see the Grand Canyon, and they saw the jacket. And I talked to them. We took pictures with them. They're all very calm and collected, and in this group photo with me. And then I took it off and said, "Y'all want to wear it?" And I have like photos of them dancing around doing crazy. I mean, every single person that put it on poses and does some crazy stuff.
Okay,
It's fun.
you know we're gonna ask to try the jacket.
Yeah. Y'all
Oh,
can,
yeah.
y'all can try them on.
How do you get here? So if you fly,
Yeah.
how do you bring all your equipment and food and stuff?
So we've got
That's part of the.
It's part of the
that's part of what I taught them.
That's
So we got
proprietary information.
kind of a rolling duffel bag, and it's got a drop bottom in it. We put our stove in there. All of our pots, pans, utensils go on the top. We keep it just under 50 pounds, so we get through the free 50-pound check bag.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But depending on where we're cooking, we cook a lot of the same cook-offs every year. I mean, I've got stoves. I've got a stove in Chicago, Tennessee, Georgia, Flagstaff,
You got stash
and
houses.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
I've got stash houses. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple.
Tables,
I've got a couple
canopies,
places
yeah.
stashed away, pots and pans.
But we run we run some cook-offs as well. Like we run some cook-offs down in Texas, and we have cooks come from all over the country, from California, Arizona, North Carolina, up here in Indiana. And we do the same thing. We'll reach out to them, say, "Hey, tell us what you need. If you're flying in, we'll get whatever you need." So we'll get them tables, canopies, whatever they need, just to make sure they've got something to cook on.
Yeah, and
Do
most.
you buy all the food here?
No.
All of our liquids we do. I do.
Okay.
Our spices that we're using,
Oh, that's
our
easy
meats,
to-
all
yeah.
that comes with us. But
So
How do
you
you
got
get the
meat
meat?
on a plane?
yes.
Yeah, you take it and freeze it, and I have the Siegler thing, and then I've got a backpack. We all have backpacks that are actually coolers, and you put the frozen meat in there, and then you go through TSA, and they pull you out, and they search you, and then you say, well, if you have the jacket on, they leave you alone, but
Obviously.
yeah, but if you tell them where you're going and what you're doing, the next thing you know, they quit talking to you about that and talk to you about chili.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
So
interesting.
wait a minute, you have a cooler backpack
Oh, yeah.
with meat,
Yes.
and you go
It's a
through.
carry-on, it's a
you
carry-on.
I carried 25 pounds of meat with
That's amazing.
So-
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what I didn't know until we get into this, we get into this circuit and get on the chili circuit and started cooking. And depending on where we're cooking and how long we're going to be, like this, we flew in on Wednesday, but this was only like a couple-hour flight, so it wasn't bad. But for several years, the World Championship was on the West Coast, 4 or 5 hours away. We're going out 3 or 4 days in advance. You want to keep the meat frozen, right? You can take up to 4 pounds of dry ice and carry on luggage on a plane.
Yeah.
Can't take regular ice because it liquefies, but you can take dry ice. So we would put 4 pounds of dry ice on that meat to keep it frozen all day while we traveled, and then get to where we're going, take it off.
I took meat to Hawaii to cook,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
and I went for a whole week before the cook-off.
Are your spices store bought, or are they homemade, or is there a rule for that?
No, there's 4 or 5 spice companies that we buy spices from.
Okay.
And I mean, there's a couple in Texas, and the gentleman over here from California. He lives in Texas now. He has a company called All Things Chili that he sells spices from. And then the banners that are up there that Mile builds, there's another supplier of spices.
So that's up to you to decide what
what
so
you
you
buy.
can pick your spice. There's no rules
and
for
typically
that.
what we do, and I'm sure he does the same thing, is we mix it up for the batch that we're going to cook. Like we knew we were cooking 3 different categories, so we have 3 different, and I've got a bag for that, and it goes in the. But we put the spices we actually carry on the plane too. We carry them in the backpack, so
Yeah. Well, that's easier
because
than
if you
dry
get here
ice
with the
and
meat, if you get here with the meat and the spices, and your whole cooking bag doesn't come, you can go to a store and buy a stove and a pot and all that to cook.
Yeah,
But
that's more important. Yeah, the food's more important.
I've never had to do that. Well, I take that back. I had to buy a stove in Arizona one year because they
Okay.
took my stove at TSA.
Okay.
So you got everybody's recipe is a little bit different,
Right.
but nobody's using just a store-bought chili spice mix. Nobody's using that.
Right.
My red chili, my spices go in at 3 different times, and I use a certain chili powders, and then I mix other stuff in with those powders, and then we'll blend them myself.
So
And
I
go in 3
made
times.
my own chili powder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I grow hot peppers like ghost pepper and reaper
Yeah.
peppers. So I pick them, I clean them, I smoke them, dehydrate them, and what do you call it? Grind them down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'll
So
work.
it's just
And
a
I-
powder. It's like what you would buy in the store, but it's fucking hot.
Yeah.
It's ghost pepper, smoked ghost pepper.
Yeah, and I've grown peppers at my house, and I've over the years, and I've made different blends and that. I've done the same thing. Sometimes I air dry them and just do that whole deal, and sometimes I put them in the dehydrator and make powder.
Yeah.
But most of it I use for the heat part of it, not for the actual.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, not for the actual. Now I have made it with the dried ancho pepper, the stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
and some of those chili spice companies you can buy the dried peppers
Yeah,
and reconstitute them and make the gravy out of that. And I've done that, but boy, that's a lot of work. I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you that right now.
Yeah.
And you have a time period here. You only have a 3-hour
hours,
window.
I know.
Yeah,
I was worried
so-
about that because I
yeah.
had cube chuck meat, so I wanted to get it tender enough to where I could pull out and shred it and put it back in.
Yeah.
But I had plenty of time because it was smaller. But I worried about that because the first time I did, I had like 3.5-inch chunks.
Yeah.
And
Those
it
are big.
took a long time for it to break down to where I could shred it.
Yeah.
More than 3 hours.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go Yellow Jacket time. Okay. I have no idea how they do it. There's a stage up there. At 5:30.
But it's in the main stage in
So
they've
we're
moved
going
it
in
over.
there.
Yeah.
Everybody walks in there.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody walks in there. Kevin will go first. They call. It's 2023. They call your name as the champion.
Well, the first thing they do is they call all the final table up there. So you're standing in front of the stage, and all 20 people are up there that are on the final table. So you know you've made the cut.
Okay.
And then they go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you're still standing there as they're dragging it on, and they haven't called your name, and you're still up there, which beats being in the audience knowing you're not going to win.
Yeah. Well, it's like Miss America. When you're the last two, it's just a question they're going to call your name.
It's totally crazy.
So just on a side note, I know you guys are obviously very precise and granular when you're doing your preparation. Do you think the preparation actually starts before you even bring the stuff, like you said, almost packing, like the packing part of your equipment is like that's the start of the competition. It's not like when you get here. Yeah. So I caught that. Yeah. When you mentioned that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so they get through it. They get the final 4. They get 4. They get to the number 1. They call your name.
Yeah.
What's running through the first time you win?
My heart was beating so fast. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, it was about to beat out of my chest. And I've been doing it a long time, and not to cry was hard to do.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this is the pinnacle.
I'm crying.
Yeah.
No, it was.
If I
It
win,
was.
I'm crying.
It was a long time ago. I told my wife that's what I wanted to win, and when I won it, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I get a little choked up now just talking
It's
about
not
it.
because it's not about the money. It's about
No, it was about being the champ.
Yep, that's
I'm
right.
gonna cry, win or lose.
Yeah. No, there is some crying when you lose too. Trust me.
There's no crying in Chile.
He's exactly right. And of course I haven't been on the circuit nearly as long as he has, but we've been doing it since 2010. So what's
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
15
it's
years
a long
now. 14,
time.
15 years.
It's a long time.
To make the final table is huge. So that was just like a sigh of relief that you got called to come stand in front of the stage because you made the final table. But then they start calling that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I had Actually, Rosie Taylor was standing right in front of me. She made the final table last year, and they got to like 3. And she looks back at me. I'm standing right behind her. She goes, I think you won. And I went, why would you say that? I had no idea. And, of course, and then they called my name. Mm-hmm. And it is just a rush. And you realize, and it takes a while for it to set in. And what's so emotional is we've cooked amongst these other 100 and something cooks that we're cooking against for years. And they're all good cooks. I mean, to get here, you had to qualify to get here. You had to win another competition to get to this competition.
You have to win first place to get here.
Yeah. And you realize that, man, and some of these guys have been cooking for a long time, and I respect every one of them. And all of them have given us pointers over the years. That's one of the neat things about the Chili family. Everybody wants to win. Don't get me wrong. Everybody wants to win the yellow jacket or one of the other jackets. But they want everybody else to have a fair shot, too.
Yeah.
So if you run out of something or somebody comes and says, oh, my gosh, I went off and left my spices at the hotel, I don't know what I'm going to do. If somebody's got extra spices, they're going to let them have them.
Well, right? I'll go on further. It's almost unfair because they're actually helping you win sometimes.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're going out of their way not just to help you along, but to possibly put you in front of you. I mean, you put somebody in front of you by giving them advice that might put them over the edge. Yeah. And that happened to me over there. I couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable.
And then to get that recognition in front of all your friends and family, your Chili family that you've cooked with for years, is pretty special. It's very emotional. And it's just like I said, it's almost your mind's going 100 different directions. When you're walking up to that stage, they're handing you this big $10,000 check and a trophy and a yellow jacket they're trying to put on.
So you get the big check?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get a big fake check.
Yeah.
Big fake check.
And by the way, it will not fit in your suitcase.
No, you got to carry it.
So it becomes a carry-on, and then everybody in the airport has a deal for you because they know you've just got $10,000.
And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this: the first time I won, and they give you the check and they do all that, and it goes real fast, and you don't really. You're just looking at it, everybody, and it's kind of like the next that we went back to the hotel. Everywhere I went, somebody would go, and then we get back to the hotel, and I put the trophy and the check in the room, and I woke up at like 3:00 in the morning, and I was like, did I really win? And I got up and turned on the light to go find the trophy and the check to make sure it was real.
Do you get to keep that check, the big check, and you send it home?
Yeah, I got the big check's the big check's at my house.
There you go.
And he'll tell you he's tried twice. The bank will not cash that check.
No, it's great fun though when you go in the bank with it.
Yeah. Okay, so when you don't win, are you sitting at home critiquing this and deciding what to change, or are you just saying I'm going to stick with what I have, and it will win? Or I mean, are you making small changes, big changes? How do you do it when if you go? I mean, because you've been in it less, but you've been in it for a long time, and you didn't win for a while.
Yeah, for a long while.
So is there a lot of changing?
Yeah,
that you do?
We went through a whole process of figuring out which spices to use, what to do, and how to do it. Because, like I said, I've lost a whole lot more than I've ever won. So we go through there and we tweaked it, and sometimes we completely changed it. Then we got to a point where it started hitting. And it was like, okay, I just need to do a little here, a little there. And the good thing is my wife cooks, and so she likes to experiment. And so once I got to where I thought it was good, I didn't change it, and I haven't changed it. But she changes stuff all the time, and so if it doesn't work, then she goes back to let's go back to the center, and then try it again. So that part of it is very helpful because she'll experiment with that stuff, and I won't.
Okay, so both of yours cook.
Yes.
In the competition.
Yeah.
Is that, let's just imagine they're not going to listen to this show. Let's imagine they're never going to listen.
Oh, no, my wife knows. I'll tell her. She can be sitting right next to me. I'll tell her. I'll sell her out right now if you want me to.
But is it a good thing or a bad thing?
Okay, I'll just tell you this. Years ago, we were coming back from the cook-off, and we had to get qualified. And she was the closest to getting qualified. And when she taught me into, let's do this, blah, blah, I said, okay. Well, I got qualified before she did. And so she had been losing, and I just kept winning and getting. So I got in, and we're riding down the road, and they gave me a birdhouse. This is not a lie. The prize was a birdhouse. And she was in the front seat of the truck. It was pouring down rain. We're driving back home. I'm white knuckle on the wheels, and she gets that birdhouse out of the back of the truck, and she's looking at it, and I was like, if you throw that birdhouse out the window, I'm going to stop the car and make you go get it. Because she was so mad. She was so mad. I could just see her looking at it with such hate. I said, I won't keep it. I'll get rid of it. I did. I gave it to a friend of mine. It's never been in our house.
All right, so Don, any same or different?
No, probably a little of both, right? Karen hasn't done that yet. Karen is very, very competitive. Very competitive, and she wants to win. Yeah. She's happy when any of us wins.
Allegedly.
She's happy, but it's very frustrating to her if she doesn't. If she doesn't do well, it's very, very frustrating to her. We're all competitive, and we all four. There's some cook-offs, not a lot, but there's some cook-offs. We're all four competing like this one against each other. We're all four cooking in the same competition.
There's no other setting in the world where you could do something like this.
Well, and the crazy part is, now that my wife and I have done this for so long, we've come up to the deal where it's the two of us against all of y'all.
Yeah.
So it makes it a whole lot easier.
That's
Once
fun,
we took
yeah.
that mindset in about 20 years ago, it worked a whole lot better.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to talk to Karen probably in a minute too. And Karen will tell you that same thing, but I will tell you deep down, Karen wants us all to win, but Karen wants to win.
Yeah, she wants to kick our ass.
She wants
so
to
bad.
win.
So
If you look at her shirt, because right now, in the
I
four
saw
of
that
us, the
shirt.
four
I
of us
saw
in the
that shirt.
family,
Yeah.
3 of us have a world championship, and she doesn't.
She's next.
Ooh.
So you look at her shirt when she comes today. She's wearing a shirt that says she's next.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I
Kevin,
saw it, yeah.
Kevin, if we kick you out right now,
I'm by.
okay, if you can grab Karen
I will.
and have her come on over,
I will.
okay, and thank you so much for
Hey,
being
man,
on.
thanks for talking to
Kevin.
us. That was
Thanks,
fun.
Kevin.
Absolutely
Thank you, sir.
fantastic.
Hey,
All right,
appreciate it, guys.
all right.
Thank
so,
you.
so Don, before your wife, she has it, anything you want to get out? Anything you want to tell us before
No.
she comes in?
No, she's great. She has been a huge supporter, and she does kind of shake her head, and everybody wants to stop and have their picture made with me in my yellow jacket. But she's been so supportive, and actually it's her and Kevin and Donna that got me into the sanctioned competition. I'd cooked chili for a long time, just local stuff at the house for the church or the school fundraiser, but not on the circuit.
Right.
In a sanctioned competition until I ran into these guys, and
Yeah.
they wrote me in.
So, Karen, you've been cooking longer than Don.
Yes, I have.
All right, make
Yes,
sure
I
you're
have.
make sure you're real close to that mic. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, you started doing this. You started doing this longer, and Don and Kevin shared me in on this and you kind of told me before when we were talking. Out of Don, you, Kevin, and his wife, you are the one person who has unfortunately not won a championship yet.
That is correct. That is.
How close have you been?
I actually got in 2022 when Kevin got his first title. I was up there with him. They called the top 24.
Right.
Yes.
The final table.
And he
Gotcha.
and I were 2 of the 24.
Okay, gotcha.
And then another time in St. Louis, I got called up in front of the stage for salsa.
Yeah, that's a rush. I mean, to get called up from that
Yeah.
final table, yeah, because
But-
anything could happen. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it.
Okay. All right. Well,
But
Well,
that's okay.
I mean, it's got to be. I mean, it's got to be tough to. I mean, because you're making all this stuff, and it is like Don and Kevin said, it's one bite, right? It's that one bite that you've got to entice that judge to go back and get some more.
Yeah.
So, and we asked these guys, we asked Don and Kevin if they always are kind of like cheating, not cheating, but kind of taking different things and rearranging things and critiquing. Have you changed your recipe a lot since you started?
Not a lot. Not a lot.
Okay.
Hey, look, I'm looking at because we got a base.
and when you say a base,
So-
what's when you say the base? What's the base?
Our base recipe.
Base
Yeah.
recipe.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
gotcha. Yeah.
So I will
Did
tell
and
you.
Kevin talk about that? I mean,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
we
don't want to
did.
give out
No, we did.
secrets.
No,
We
don't
did.
give any secrets. Don't give any
I
secrets, yeah.
love it. I
So
love
one
it.
of the things that Karen was adamant about was she wanted to cook something she liked to eat, right?
Yeah.
And
That's
as
what a couple people have already said that we've had on,
And
yeah.
as we talked earlier,
Yeah.
it's very regional. If we cook South Carolina, it's got to be sweet, right? And she would say, "I would never eat that.
Yeah.
I don't like sweet
See, you're
chili.
just like
I'm
me.
not-
I
I'm not-
can't
I'm
do
not-
it.
I'm
Same.
not- I'm not going to cook that." And I'm saying, but that's not why we're here, right? Because you've got to win one of those championships
Yeah.
to get to here,
Yeah.
to the world championship.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're cooking to the judges and what those judges in
Right.
the area of the country we're cooking in want to taste. But for a long time, she goes, "I'm just not going to do it because I don't like that." But you have changed that.
I have
Yeah.
changed
So
that.
she has come around and said, "Okay, I'm gonna cook to wherever we're cooking now."
Yeah. So you're not compromising your principles. You're just changing your tactics to just do what's necessary to get to the next round.
That's it.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
it.
Makes
Do you
sense.
guys have any predictions for 5:30 today
Oh.
for the home style?
There you go.
Oh,
Do
Karen,
it.
You're,
I-
you're going to win.
I-
She's wearing
Do it.
She's wearing a "She's Next" shirt. Like she's going to get it.
So you hit it. So you hit your recipe spot on today. You like the way it came out?
The home style, yes.
Yeah, the home style,
I
yeah.
wasn't real crazy about my verdict.
Okay.
But that's okay. I want.
Okay.
Yes.
She has been
She wants
spot
the
on. I mean,
jacket.
she's won multiple state and regional titles, and
Okay.
this past year has probably been her best year ever in those competitions. I mean, she is just really kicking butt.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might have asked this question of another competitor, but do the judges actually give you feedback? Let's just say, do they? So if you made, let's say, the final table 24, do you know exactly where you finished? Like, do you know, like, say they don't call you to fight. Do you know if you finished 23rd or 24th or 15th?
Yeah.
And then they say we tasted your chili, and this is what we tasted.
Right.
Yeah.
So they will, after all the awards are over, you can go into the judging room and you can see what won, see how many points your chili got, all the feedback you got from the judges.
Sure.
So they ask the judges, and I've served as chief judge on a bunch of different cook-offs, and I always ask my judges if they will give the cooks feedback, especially if it's a cook-off like this or it's a 2-day cook-off, because they can make adjustments from day 1 to day 2. It's not required, but it's really encouraged, and I stress the importance of that to the judges. If I'm cooking in a competition, and I don't know, maybe we've got 10 judges on that table, and if I get one judge that says it's too salty, and I get another judge that says not enough salt, I can just kind of throw those off as personal preference. If I get 4 or 5 judges that say it's too salty, then I know it's too salty for where I'm cooking, and I can make an adjustment for that next day. Another perfect example, we run 2 cook-offs back in August in Claremore, Oklahoma, 2-day back-to-back. I had a gentleman from Iowa that came and cooked, and he placed 10th with his chili verde on the first day. And a number of the judges had commented that they thought it was too spicy. And he said, so I thought about cutting some of the spice out, but I love the flavor profile that spice brought. He said, so I put it in an hour and a half earlier so it could cook down some. And on day 2, he took first place.
Oh, okay.
So the judges, it was because of the judges' feedback.
Yeah.
The judges' comments that he got on Saturday, he made some changes that got him the win on Sunday.
Great.
So
yeah, but that's a 2-day competition with the 1 day.
Yes.
It's like the Olympics. You train for 4 years, but you only got 30 seconds to either. Yeah. So that's
an amateur like me made a mistake today. We tested my chili about an hour and a half in. No, 1 hour in, and it was spicy. It had a lot of kick, and I liked the kick and I liked it, but my wife said this is too hot. So we started tweaking it and trying to bring it down a little bit, which it's naturally going to happen the longer it cooks, right?
Yeah.
And then I add the beans in late, so that's going to do it as well.
Yep.
And then I shred the meat and put that back in, and that's going to do it as well.
Yep.
So then towards the end, I'm like, all right, now the heat's there, but it's just in the back end a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's not hot enough now.
But again, it's regional, and even like this is this is a 1 day. Today's the only day we're doing homestyle and verde.
Yeah.
But the feedback that we'll get from the judges here today, we can use next year.
Yeah,
You know, if the next year's World Championship. So.
Yeah.
Or
you'll write down that feedback, and you'll know
Absolutely.
that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
or the next cook-off you're doing.
Yeah.
After to this weekend.
Yeah.
Like our first one could be Huntsville in February. And whatever I get back here, feedback, I'll say, oh, okay, I'll do this.
There you go.
Or I won't do this.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so Karen, if you win, are you going to cry?
Oh, hell yeah.
You're probably going to make us all
Oh,
cry.
hell yeah.
Who's the first person you're going to thank? You're going to thank anybody?
Oh, you get to give a speech?
No, well, you get up there and they, Michael say to you, hey, what was it that got you here, or what, and Kev said
Bush's beans.
Bush beans. Yeah.
Well, you got to say that. Yeah,
You got to say,
yeah,
so first I'm going to say
Bush
Bush
beans,
beans,
yeah.
and then of course,
it's mandatory.
I'm going to say him and my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be bawling.
Well, Kevin's going to be
Yeah.
crying with you too. He already said that.
I will tell
he
you
did?
that.
Oh, well, he was
The first year when he won his first red title, and she made final tables, they were standing beside each other, and of course it's Kevin and Karen, so they got the out, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, and they called Kevin up, and you would have thought they had called her. I mean, she was bawling tears. I mean, and another Texas cook was standing beside her, going, "Are you okay, Miss Karen?" He calls her Miss Karen. Are you okay? Are you okay? Because she was a more emotional bag than Kevin was, and he had won.
Yeah.
So I guarantee you will be crying.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No,
She's
I'm not
trying
going to lie.
She's trying to knock us off.
All right.
So, Ben over here with the Dinosaur Hampton is the clothing line. He's the tailor that makes these. He's out of Minnesota that makes these fine yellow jackets. And so there's only 4 of them because Bush just came on in 2021. So there's only 4 of these.
Sure, yeah.
And he came by my booth last year on Sunday after I'd won Saturday, and we were just sitting there chatting. I said, "Now I've got a question for you." I said, "Now that I'm the proud owner of this fine yellow jacket," I said, "What happens if I win this thing again next year?" He said, "Well, now that I know y'all will wear anything," he goes, "I'm making you yellow pants to go with that
There
jacket."
you go. Perfect.
So
Perfect. Yeah.
she's trying to keep me from my yellow pants. She
Yeah.
wants the jacket first.
So it's funny, you told me that story, and I was just like, we have to make sure that we talk about that, because honestly, if you walked around here like that, you would be God.
I would
You would be the
yeah.
god of chili.
or that I played for Savannah Bananas.
Bananas,
or
yeah.
something.
We had them on the podcast
Oh,
a
did
couple
you?
years ago. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
First baseman in the, I think the right fielder or something. yeah.
I
They were
love
good.
them.
Yeah.
Oh, they were
I didn't realize how big they were.
absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. All right,
They-
so we got to knock this
Okay.
thing out. I want to wish you guys both the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to be 100% honest, Karen. I'm going to wish you more luck.
Thank you.
Even though I would love to come back here next year and see Don in yellow pants and a yellow jacket. I would much rather have the three of you right back here in yellow jackets, sitting at this table, talking to us, and I think I would cry.
Wait, do we have does he have the jacket here? Does he have the yellow jacket for this year's winner here right now, or does
Yes, he
make?
does.
There's one somewhere.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
one made.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
okay.
what they've done in the past is they make the prototype.
Sure. Okay. Then they'll size you
And like
out,
the one
right?
they
Yeah.
put on me
Yeah.
when I won last year on the stage was way too small. for
Okay.
me. And then they measure you and
Yeah.
have you a replica. And they have to make another one. It's all hand stitched.
Good, because I want to see you in a yellow jacket. I want to see. That
Thank
would be
you.
great to get the three of you together.
Thank you.
That's amazing. That would be
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
It would be.
Yeah.
It really would
Wow.
be.
That'd be a great picture.
Oh my God.
We're in that. And by the way, we're in that picture.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Where, what other kind of competition can you think of where this can happen? Where a brother, a sister, and a husband can all win, compete in the same thing, and eventually win. And that's unbelievable.
There's
That's
not a
fun.
one.
That's a lot
Look.
of fun.
Yeah, that
I
is
love it.
more people in
it's
faces. I love that.
been
There's not
an
a one.
absolute blast.
Yeah.
And again, it's a challenge. There's a lot of times that Karen and I will go and compete in a competition, but it's not often that all four of us are at the same one.
Yeah.
We do Flagstaff together every year, all four of us. But outside of that, usually
It's the two of us, and
the
they'll
world-
go. Donna and Kevin will go somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
'Cause
But we're always here, so we're all four
Yeah.
competing at the World Championship every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
that is awesome. All right, I wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you
I'm
so much.
looking forward to 5:30. I can now not wait to be there. And honestly, Karen, you win, I'm crying.
Oh.
Just so you know.
Okay.
Just so you know. All right.
Well, I'm gonna
Hey, this
cry
has been a
with you.
blast. Thank you
you.
guys
It's
so
very
much
nice
for
Yes,
having
to
us.
meet you.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for your time.
All right,
Thank
take
you.
Thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
You bet.